Hi, my name is Jeffrey, and this is my intro for the 90-day freedom sprint that's going on right now. Today is the 6th of June, and I decided to create a YouTube channel dedicated to documenting my journey through the 30-day challenge. The reason why I'm making this video is to, number one, hold myself accountable to everything that I say today. Number two, to track my growth, because based on the program, I expect to have a growth period sometime during these 30 days. I should not be the same person that I am today, and that's what I'm hoping for. Number two, to share with others who are considering going through the 30-day Freedom Sprint Challenge. I want to talk about a little bit about my history before I get started. About 2019, early 2019, I'd say about July 2019, I decided to give up my 9-to-5 job, primarily because of a whole lot of things that were going on. The environment was not friendly toward me. I have been working there for 5 years, and my pay increases were not keeping up with current inflation rates. So during those 5 years, I pretty much struggled to make ends meet, and it was a pretty dangerous job, a demanding job. So in 2019, I did something I never did before, and that was to go overseas. I got my passport. My son was getting married in Thailand. I went over in March for his wedding, and it was just a mind-blowing experience. I saw so much, and at the end, I saw the world in a different way. Came back, and I said I had to go back again. This time, instead of 2 weeks, I went for 30 days in July. When I came back, went back to my normal job, I said to myself, wow, living in America is just not exciting. And I'm not happy here. When I was in Thailand, the standard of living was very high, and didn't take much, and met a lot of nice people, and just beautiful place. And my mind had been stretched, and when I came back, I just had the bug. So I said, well, hey, I've been working on my side gig for about 5 years too, and my job is not really, I'm not really happy doing it, and I'm always putting myself in danger. Why not just go ahead and go full time into my financial advising part-time business? So I decided to. So I had saved up about 6 months worth of savings, which is basically what they say if you want to start your own business. And I went ahead and I quit. Sharing an office space with several other advisors, and my expenses were minimal. So I decided to go full time, and I made that jump. It was a leap of faith, and I said, hey, I'd rather take my chances than stay in my current position. So over the period of 4 or 5 months, I wasn't finding any success as far as, because I had to make cold calls. I had to go out and meet people. Business did not flow in exactly like I thought it would be. So I found myself toward the end of the year looking at an empty bank account, and trying to figure out what to do. Well, at the same time, I got a call that my dad was sick, and he was terminally ill, and there was no male sons available around but me to help him. And he said that he never wanted to go to a nursing home, and he wanted to die. He wanted to pass away in his home. So I I closed my office and everything, and went to take care of him for about 3 months, and eventually he passed away in January of 2020. And that hit me pretty hard. And so afterwards, I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to go back to work. I basically had to. I lost my lease. I broke my lease on my apartment. I didn't really have no place to go. Fortunately, my dad left his home to my sister, and she knew my situation. She knew I didn't have a place, so she allowed me to stay here. So I've been here in this place right now currently for about 2021 through up to now. During that time, I didn't want to go back to work, and plus I was afraid to go back to work because of COVID. So I saw a lot of people, starting businesses online and working from home. So I said, man, that's what I want to do. So in 2020, or mid 2020, I found out about companies like hold on, ClickFunnels. I got into the ClickFunnels one funnel away challenge. By that time, my savings had dwindled down to very minimal, and so I invested my $100, but I didn't know that I needed to buy third-party services in order to make a complete funnel. So I had some problems there, and then there are some things that I didn't know how to do. So I had to, in order for me to get it done, I had to hire somebody, and I didn't have the money to do that. So I did the best I could, and I created a funnel at the end. But when I launched it, crickets, nothing. And I ran out of money, couldn't keep my account open, and ClickFunnels closed my account. So there I was. I drained everything I had, no money, and I had to depend on family to keep me sustaining for the prime time being. During that time, I stayed with my daughter, and then I started staying with my sister full time. But over the course of the time in 2020, I got sick. My health started failing, and I started feeling like I had, chest problems and heart attacks. It was just pretty bad. Had trouble breathing, and ended up in the hospital in 2021, January and February. I came out of the hospital in January, and I went back again in February. Same problems, but they couldn't find anything wrong with my heart. So I still had problems. I still had problem breathing. I had problems sleeping at night, keeping my energy during the day. So during the whole year of 2021, it was like the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me, and I didn't know, whether or not I was dying myself. And so I was depressed. I was down, but I continued to try to figure out ways to start a business online. And I came across another company, Groove Funnels, that offered a free version of their product. And so I started practicing with that and started getting into their training, but their training was not as up to par as ClickFunnels training was. And then also their software had some bugs in it, and sometimes things just didn't work. So, but over the time, I understand that there are things, they got things fixed. But that brings me up to 2020. I had given up all hopes about starting an online business, and said maybe I need to just start looking into just working. And I didn't really want to do that. I mean, I didn't want to have to get in the car, travel, downtown in traffic, and deal with bosses again like I dealt with the last boss, and and plus my age, it was getting harder and harder to get into the positions that I had before things got really bad. So I started looking again, see if there was any way that I could find work. So I decided I was going to do some substitute teaching, and I said, well, I can work a few days and take some days off and work on my business, and that was a pretty good pretty good fit. And during that time, I started having more conversations with a guy named Doug Boughton. And he kept messaging me, and I followed him on Facebook, and he kind of caught my interest. There were a lot of coaches that wanted to work with me, who offered their services, but I was just burned out where they would say, hey, you just paid this amount of money to get in, and then we just and those prices were pretty high. The entry point was pretty high. I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it. So after about a week or two working as a substitute teacher, Doug got in contact with me, or I think I found out about his challenge, a 5-day kickstart your business challenge, and the price point was rather low. And I said, well, I need to see if I can work with someone to try to do it right, because before then, the whole 2 years, I felt like I knew enough that I could figure it out, put it all together myself. But it's not true. I mean, the best thing for you to do is to find somebody who has gone through what you want to do and learn from them how they did it. So I yielded to my pride, and I said, hey, price point's low, let's give it a shot. I need to figure out what I'm going to sell, who I'm going to sell it to, and what kind of offers can I make. And so I had an idea of what I wanted to do. It's related to the wealth side. It's related to financial coaching. And so I decided to give the 5-day Kickstarter challenge a try. And after a week, I had everything clear in my head as far as what I wanted to do, who I wanted to serve, and also an offer, the best offer I could come up with, when I was hoping that maybe Doug could help me out with to kind of tweak it a little bit. Excuse me. So that was a 5-day challenge, and after the 5-day challenge, I was pretty happy with the results that I achieved. And then Doug said, hey, look, why don't you do the 30-day Freedom Sprint coming up, and we can help you actually put everything together and launch an offer. And I said, okay, that sounds pretty good. Maybe we can do that. And I found out how much it was going to cost. And at the time, I had only worked for about a month, and I was in between pay periods. And you know how when you start work, it takes maybe 3 weeks before you get your first full check. Well, I was in the middle of that, and I just couldn't afford it. And I talked to Doug about it, and we talked about it. And he said, hey, do the half. You can pay the half. I said, maybe when my check comes in, I said, I'll have enough for the half. So maybe we'll do that. So I couldn't do it right at the time that I finished the 5-day challenge. So I waited until like maybe the weekend before the 30-day fast start, kickstart, fast start. And I got my bank statement, and it showed that, hey, I got enough to pay for the whole thing. But if I pay for the whole thing, then I wouldn't have any money left over, maybe like $300 for the whole month. And then after that, then what? So my old thinking kicked in again. It's like, hey, you need to save this money so that when you get a job, it can sustain you until, the next job starts paying. But my heart wasn't in that. And I talked to Doug again, and he said, hey, look, hey, Jeff, I know your situation. I know. He said, but I really believe that I can help you, and you can start making income, at the end of the 30 days. That's our goal. And he says, you may not need to go get a job. He says, but there's no things guaranteed, and I understand that. But man, I've been taking risks for a long time, and this just, my whole logic was going like, you need to focus on getting a job, but my heart wasn't in it. and thought about it, prayed about it. So I decided to go ahead and do it. So, after making that investment, I only had, maybe $300 left. So that's supposed to last me through the whole month. And then after that, what? I've been receiving help from family members and things, and they know now that I've been working and I should have quite a bit of funds, and I should be able to maintain myself for the next following month. But I took the leap of faith. I put all my chips on the table, primarily because I trust Doug. Not that he's going to give me results. I trust that he will be alongside me no matter what. Okay, and I know that if I put in the work, and if I have somebody like him backing me up, that no matter what the result's going to be, I should be closer and more clearer about my business that I want to create. And at that point, if I feel that way, I can go to work, no problem, as long as I know that I've got an out, and it's only a matter of time that I can just go. So that's the way I'm thinking about it. So I decided to go ahead and make that move. So I'm riding everything on this for these 30 days, and I decided to document it and to keep track of all my my ups and downs and my challenges, so that I can share this with anyone else who's considering going through the 30-day freedom sprint. And if I can do it in my situation, basically being broke, hey, anybody can do it. And I want to also do it for myself, also to prove to others that hey, your way may not be the way. My way may be better, but just because I'm not successful at it at this point in time doesn't mean that it's the best. It's not the best way. So it's a way for me to prove to them that you should listen. You should listen to what I have to say. Everybody in my family is caught up. They're struggling from day to day. They look at me and they just feel like, hey, I'm just got my head in the clouds. But I have a big dream. And whatever cost it takes, I'm going to make it happen. So I'm doing this. This is my first day, and every day for the 30 days, I will be getting on and talking about my victories, my challenges, my defeats, but I will have the right attitude, the right mental attitude. The thing that Doug taught us in the first course that I took, the first 5-day Kickstart Challenge, he said, you have to have this attitude: be, do, then have. You have to become the person, be the person already before you have. You be the person, you do what that person does or is expected to do, and then eventually you will have. So that's what I'm going to do. Some of the things that I'm going to be doing to keep my motivation up and keep my mind positive is I'm going to be listening to audio from Grant Cardone. Be obsessed or be average. Be obsessed or be average. Something like that. But I'm listening to it audio because I just, what he says and how he says it is how I need to hear it, because he's just a wild, wild go-get-it guy. No bars, no barriers, and that's the way I need to be thinking through this whole thing. So my perspective on this project is probably different from anyone else's who is participating in it today, because I have a lot riding on the line. I mean, I have my basically my manhood. And if I can't support myself, I'm not the man I should be. So I got to succeed. I have to succeed. So I will be putting in my time 24/7, and I'm doing this video so that you can follow my journey, and maybe at the end you can celebrate with me, or at the end maybe you can encourage me to keep on going. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I thank Doug Boughton for contacting me and continue to contact me. And we'll see what happens. We see what happens. Take care.